Good evening everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. It is Wednesday the 14th of May 2025 and tonight we're heading back to St James's Park for the Northumberland Senior Cup final between Heaton, Stannington and Morpeth Town. So I've got to say I'm actually quite excited about this one, so let's get into it. So here I'm in Newcastle and going into this evening's Northumberland Senior Cup final. Morpeth finished in 8th place in the Northern Premier League Premier Division, while Heaton Stannington finished in 12th place in the Northern Premier League East Division. So there is a league's difference between the two sides, so you would expect that Morpeth would be the favourites for this, obviously coming into on the back of a relatively solid season in their league. But one thing you can always be assured of with Heaton Stan is that they will give it absolutely anything a go. They're always up for a challenge, as they've proven time and time again, and it's maybe shown on this run as well. In the semi-final they picked up a 3-0 win against Newcastle's under-21s, which is maybe even a game that not that many people were expecting them to win, but they managed to come through with that. They are a club that I really do like their model, I must say, because obviously they've been having a lot of success of late, but that success hasn't come as a result of spending ridiculous amounts of money or anything like that. They've always kept it within the means. There just seem to be a real togetherness about that club, and you really do feel that whenever you are going up to Groundsel Park. I mean, as for Morpeth, I think next season is going to be season 6 of me having a channel or something like that. We've still not done a video from that ground yet, so I think we're going to have to put that right next season, don't you? It's been an obscenely long time since I last went there, really, when you consider the amount of times I've been to other grounds in and around the North East. I think we definitely do need to get there at some point next season, so I will fully endeavour to do that. But I believe for the first time in my life, this is the first season where I've done all 3 of the North Riding Senior Cup final, the Durham Challenge Cup final, and now the Northumberland Senior Cup final. I know obviously I've listed them off not in the order that they were played, but you get my point, don't you? And but I think it's going to be a good occasion for both sets of fans to see the team play at St James. I know Morpeth have been in this final a few times in recent years, but I think for Heaton, I don't think it's the first ever final. I might be wrong on that. It's a very old competition, but certainly not in recent times ever been in this particular final. So I'm sure their fans will savour the occasion. I'm sure a lot of them support Newcastle as well. So good chance for them to witness their team play at a calibre stadium that they maybe wouldn't get to otherwise. So it should be a good turnout and a good atmosphere at this one. So let's head on down St James's Park and find out how it all unfolds. So I've totally missed the warm-ups because for some reason at this final every year they decide on a cash-only policy in 2025, when they could quite easily put tickets for sale online and offer card payment as well. But it is what it is. I've got in the ground in time at least. Can't confirm at this moment in time what colours the two sides are going to be in, so I'll just have to see when the players are coming out the tunnel ready to start the match. Okay, so Heaton are in black and white this evening, Morpeth are in light blue. Of course, Morpeth would play in a black and gold combination normally, but it does maybe lead to a bit of a colour clash with Heaton. But yeah, on we go again. Arm underway. Still people piling in, I'll tell you what, Northumberland affairs dropped an absolute clanger really. referees would have made him walk there. Half time, Heaton Stannington 0, Morpeth Town 0. As a game, it's actually really unlucky to be goalless at half time. There's been some absolutely brilliant chances either way. I think Heaton have probably shaded it so far. They've probably had the better of the chances. The most notable one being a shot from range which clattered off the crossbar. But I've got to say that is probably the best goalless half of football that I've watched in all season really. Like obviously when you consider that Cliftonville game, it did have a goal right on the stroke at half time. It has to be said that this one has been the best. The best has been the best goals half of football. But if it carries on like this, then surely it's only a matter of time before that goal comes. But the big question is, which way will that go? End of 90 minutes, Heaton Stannington 0, Morpeth Town 0, penalties to decide. I tell you what, Heaton are a real bogey side for the channel, aren't they? I think that's 5 times over the last 2 seasons we've seen them on the channel, and 3 of those have ended 0-0. So probably best avoiding them from this point, really, aren't they? Morpeth to go first. is to win it for Heaton. Full time Heaton Stannington 0, Morpeth Town 0, with Heaton Stannington winning 5-4 on penalties. As much as they're completely not a thorn in my goal average every season, I don't think there's very few clubs out there that are more deserving of the constant wave of success that Heaton Stan are having just now. There's some absolutely fantastic people at that football club, and as I said earlier on in the video, the way they're going about it as well, it's quite simply has to be admired. Like, they're not, as I said, throwing tons of money at it or anything like that. They're just building it up bit by bit, and this is the next step in the road for them tonight. Obviously, a few years ago, they were in Northern League Division 2, got themselves out of that. Spent a couple of years in Northern League Division 1 before getting themselves out of that. Just made sure that they survived in the NPL East this season, and in the end, they did that with relative ease. When you look at the league table, I know it was looking maybe a little bit sketchy at one point, but I think this is maybe just the icing on the cake for what a fantastic season they actually have had. And I think over the course of the 90 minutes, I think if either side did deserve to win the game, then I thought it was them. I think all in all, they did have the better chances, but I think as the game was getting into the last quarter of it or so, you could see both sides were starting to look a little bit tired. There was players pulling up left, right and centre. The overall quality in the game just seemed to evaporate, so it was kind of pretty destined to finish goalless at that point. But in terms of Morpeth tonight, they had some chances throughout the course of the game, but Heaton did hold firm whenever they did go forward, and to be quite honest, I just think on the night Heaton just did that bit more to be deserving of winning the game. But as it goes, that is actually my last game on British soil tonight, and so that of course means it's my last game, my last non-league game of the season. I'm hoping that this climax that I am giving you guys can be something that you'll enjoy. I know full well that like my overall performance in the vlogs this season hasn't been good enough. No, the videos themselves haven't been good enough, so I can only apologise for the absolute rubbish that I've served up this season. But I do hope that these last 4 games that I am going to can. I hope you enjoy them, because a lot of planning and a lot of time spent planning them has got into it, and it might be tiring for me personally, but I'm going to just do what I can to at least end the season on a positive note. But one thing I will say is that things will be a lot better on this channel next season. I can promise you that now, because you guys have been nothing short of unbelievable towards me of late, and the content just quite simply hasn't matched your loyalty to me in my honest opinion. So that is the steps I'm going to be taking next season. I can promise you that now. But for the time being, 4 more games. Let's round it all off on a high, and that is that for this video. And I'll be back on Saturday with a trip to Germany, and for the first time in my life we're going to Bavaria, and it is FC Augsburg versus FC Union Berlin. So a bit of a nothing game on the last day of the Bundesliga season, but it's the first time I've been to a Bundesliga game in quite a long time. So looking forward to it, and looking forward to hitting up Munich afterwards. So until then, take care, cheers for watching, congratulations once again to Heaton, and commiserations to Morpeth. See you later, see you Saturday.